If you had to describe Hugo Ekitike's Liverpool career with just one word, that word would be instant.
He got a shot away, he can cut it back, and Ekitike fires home in the right spots to get on the end of that from Wirtz.
He didn't need a settling in period. He didn't need time to adjust to the league or the pace. He showed up and started scoring straight away.
With Kevin Medina, Hugo Ekitike gets the wrong side of him. Hugo Ekitike makes it 4.
Everyone constantly tries to push the Bundesliga narrative. The agenda that players look way better in the Bundesliga than anywhere else. That top Bundesliga players can't do it in the Premier League. But here's a guy who arrived from Frankfurt and has hit the ground running.
Hugo Ekitike, A+.
He's been really good. He started well, he came in the Community Shield, he scored. He started the season scoring. He was the best player. He was linking the play up. So yeah, I think he's been a big plus point for Liverpool this year. I think he's done his job.
Alexander Isak was sitting behind Liverpool's bench, clapping, then rubbing Ekitike's head, as the Frenchman soaked in the applause at Anfield after a wonderful performance versus Newcastle. But that moment really summed up Liverpool's season. When Liverpool smashed their transfer record to sign Isak last summer, Ekitike was expected to be the backup, the supporting act, the guy that would rotate in and fill in when needed. But there's been a change in plans. People said AI would take jobs, but I guess Ekitike didn't get that memo. Get it? Because AI stands for artificial intelligence, and Alexander Isak's initials are also AI? Yeah, I'll show myself out.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Isak's first season was ruined by injuries and poor form. Meanwhile, Ekitike, he just took over. Ever since he arrived from Eintracht Frankfurt, he was always involved in goals for Liverpool. In fact, he's on track to end Mo Salah's 8-year run as Liverpool's top goal scorer. It seems the baton has officially been passed. Take a look at Ekitike's performance versus Newcastle. At the time, Liverpool hadn't won a league game in 5 matches. The pressure was building on Arne Slot, so going behind early to Anthony Gordon only made things worse. But instead of folding like a lawn chair, Liverpool responded. 2 goals in 2 minutes just before halftime completely flipped the mood inside Anfield. Suddenly, the crowd was excited again. Suddenly, the belief was back.
He is again. Ekitike will get a shot away, will he? That is superb!
I mean, you look at this goal from Ekitike, wow. You know how hard it is to toe poke the ball in like that?
And you just stop it there now. You see his body shape, especially on this angle, or both angles really, he's not over the ball. He's almost leaning back. This skill here, what he does, because we've all toe poked the ball as kids, but you'd normally toe poke it forward. He toe pokes it to the side. It's an unbelievable finish, very Romario-like.
Slot loves Ekitike, and I can completely understand why. The Frenchman provides so much more than just goals. Slot has a very clear idea of how he wants his team to play, and Ekitike fits it perfectly. He's always on the move, constantly stretching the back line. He's running through the channels and making defenders have to make decisions on the fly. Add in the fact that he's 6'3", and he provides a real physical edge on top of all that movement, which again makes him even harder to deal with. One of the best parts of Ekitike's game is what he does without the ball. Liverpool use this squeeze press, where the front players work together to trap the opposition and force mistakes. Ekitike does this brilliantly, whether he's playing alongside Mo Salah or Gakpo. He knows exactly where to stand, how to angle his runs, and which passing lanes to shut down. His pressing intelligence makes life miserable for defenders trying to play out from the back. Now, even though he's Liverpool's main number 9, he doesn't just stay central. He loves drifting out to the left, and that movement causes teams a lot of problems. Defenders are not sure whether to follow him there or pass him on. And that confusion opens up space in the middle. When Ekitike pulls wide, it creates room for players like Florian Wirtz or Szoboszlai to burst into. And once Ekitike gets the ball on the left, you know what's coming. But he turns into prime Thierry Henry, cuts inside onto his right, and looks to whip in a shot into the far corner. For the way that Dutch Lex Luthor wants his side to play, Ekitike just makes sense. He presses, he moves, he creates space, and yet he still finishes like a proper number 9. That's probably why Slot has talked about Ekitike's energy as well, his personality, how fans connect with him. I mean, this is gonna sound like the ultimate glaze, but the way this guy carries himself, it's like he already thinks of himself as a superstar. And he thought that way even before he had kicked a ball for Liverpool. Liverpool. I mean, look at him showing the score to the Newcastle away fans. But don't mistake this confidence for arrogance. Ekitike has improved tremendously in his entire game all season. He now presses better, runs more, makes better decisions on the ball. He's also become a striker that Slot can fully trust for 90 minutes now, and that matters a lot for a team that wants to play at full intensity. When you watch him play and dominate like this, there's an obvious comparison, and that's Fernando Torres. Ekitike's second goal against Newcastle felt like something straight out of 2007. Left channel, defenders beating for pace, calm finish across the goalkeeper. Gerrard said it himself on TNT Sports. When he watches Ekitike, he sees El Nino.
Stephen was saying as well that you really remind him when he watches you of Fernando Torres. Is he a player that you watched a lot of?
I mean, like, back in the days, I couldn't watch Premier League, to be honest. I didn't, my mom didn't pay, like, I couldn't see. But yeah, obviously I know about him. I watched some clips on YouTube. I would never put myself on the same level as him, but
a lot of similarities: pace, power. You can score, you can assist. Very a lot of similarities.
I mean, I love him. You know, it's like it was a really good player. I think you enjoy playing with him.
A lot.
I mean, if I can reach this level and be even better, it would be great. But I have to keep working. You know?
Ekitike's response was pure humility. He knows the comparison is flattering, but it's clear what matters to him. Yes, he wants to score goals, but he wants to help the team win. He wants them running for each other, and he isn't just chasing individual accolades. The best thing for Liverpool fans is that the partnership between Ekitike and Florian Wirtz is starting to click in a very scary way. They assisted each other 6 times already, more than any other Premier League duo. No Liverpool pair has done that in their debut season since the late 80s. Early on, both players struggled a little bit with the physical demands of the league. The reason I say that is because they both faded late in games. They would cramp up, but now they look a lot stronger, sharper, and more comfortable across the entire 90 minutes. I mean, Wirtz had 6 goals and 3 assists in 11 games at one point, and his confidence is growing by the week. He loves playing with Ekitike, and Ekitike loves playing with him. You can see it on the pitch. It's a great sign of progress, because for most of the season, Liverpool didn't look like champions. But there have been nights, like the one against Newcastle and against Real Madrid, when Anfield is bouncing, and the connections finally start to form. These are the matches that remind you what this team can still become. As a result, the mood around the team has changed, and Hugo Ekitike is a big reason why. I mean, the guy puts in so much work, it's crazy. After the game against Brighton, the poor guy was hobbling off as he was subbed. He'd been fighting cramps for a few minutes, barely able to run, but when he finally walked off in the 78th minute, Anfield stood up as one. The man had gotten 2 goals, was totally exhausted, and he had just dragged Liverpool through another tricky afternoon. That day specifically really stood out to me, because all the attention was on Mo Salah. This was during the time when Salah was beefing with the higher-ups at Liverpool and gave his famous rant. But what really mattered at that moment was Ekitike's form. Salah was about to head off to AFCON, and Liverpool needed somebody to carry the attack. And it was obvious that the person to do that was going to be Hugo Ekitike. That was the 2nd league game in a row that the summer signing had scored twice. He had done it the week before at Leeds, but that performance got lost because Liverpool collapsed, threw away a 2-goal lead, and went down faster than your local hooker. This time against Brighton though, they held firm. Ekitike's goals had made a difference, and that win was huge, hence why the cop was singing his name. 7 goals in his first 10 Premier League starts put him in elite Liverpool company. Only Daniel Sturridge had done better. He hit double-digit figures in all competitions very quickly, and he did it so efficiently. His first 7 league goals came from chances worth only 4.4 expected goals, and he finished nearly 1 out of every 4 shots that he took. At the time, only Erling Haaland had scored non-penalty goals at a better rate per 90 minutes than Ekitike's 0.72. So the Frenchman's goals were not coming from endless chances. This wasn't a Darwin Núñez situation where you create a bunch of opportunities for him and then he finally scores. No, Ekitike was ruthless, clinical, and very decisive. For a player coming into a new league, in a tough season, those numbers are not normal. Remember, he was getting these goals on a Liverpool team that was really struggling, but he provided exactly what the Reds needed. Now, going into the season, everybody knew that the striker situation was always going to be an awkward one. There was so much hype about Liverpool getting Ekitike because they beat so many other clubs, but then they followed it up by smashing the British transfer record for Isak. So now they had 2 big names, 2 huge fees, but only 1 position. Slot and the club tried to sell it as a positive, and I mean on paper it was. Rotation is key, and depth matters when there's so many games in the year. But when you play a 4-2-3-1, eventually, only one person can lead the line. Now, Ekitike grabbed that chance early while Isak was still building fitness after missing most of preseason. Because remember, Isak went on strike to force a move. And Ekitike was doing brilliantly, but then came a setback. A red card after scoring in the Carabao Cup. He was suspended because he took his shirt off after he scored, getting a second yellow. Slaw looked pissed in the post-match interview when they asked him about the situation.
Where Hugo got a second yellow card, that is, what were your two words? That was needless, yes, and? And it was stupid, yeah, it was. So I can, in the first one, was already needless and to a certain extent stupid because you have to control your emotions. And I know how hard it is if you play Premier League or every league in the world. If you are number 9, then the defender can almost do everything he wants. And then when you shirt pull a little bit or you push him a little bit, then you get a free kick against you. But it's always the best to control your emotions. And if you cannot control your emotions, do it in a way that it doesn't lead to a yellow card. So I think I said when I got my red card against Everton, that's always stupid, because it is you can show your emotions, but if it leads to a yellow or red card, then it's stupid.
There was a run of games where Ekitike barely started, and then during that time, Isak struggled to make an impact even when he was given chances. So there ended up being a long stretch where Ekitike didn't score in the league, but context matters. He only started 3 matches in 8 games. Looking back, it was poor management from Slot. He benched Ekitike when he was in great form to basically force Isak to get match fit. It didn't benefit anyone because Isak played poorly and Ekitike lost all the momentum he had earned. I mean, the guy looked like a superstar as soon as he put on the Liverpool shirt. You guys remember what he did to Crystal Palace in the Community Shield?
He's worked the shooting chance! Oh, that will certainly do for starters!
Then right after that, he scored a wonderful goal versus Bournemouth.
Here's Ekitike again, looking to provide one. He might get it what he has!
The week after that, he scored against Newcastle, which was quite symbolic because Newcastle had tried to sign him, and he went to Liverpool, and now he was dunking on them again. And then a few weeks after that, he scored in the Merseyside derby. The guy had 3 goals, 1 assist in 5 Premier League matches, and Salah was like, nah buddy, go sit on the bench. Now the difference between Ekitike and Isak is actually quite clear. Isak often waits for the game to come to him. Ekitike forces himself into it. He battles the center backs, he links up with the play, he runs the channels. He's always stretching defenses and pressing like his life depends on it. He makes Liverpool feel alive up front. Slot tried to play the two of them together in Europe against Inter. It didn't really work. There wasn't great connection between them, no chemistry, and when changes were needed, it was Isak who came off. Made sense because he wasn't in great form. Against Brighton, Slot adjusted again. He used a different shape. It was Wirtz behind Ekitike, and suddenly Liverpool looked smoother. They were sharper in possession, more dangerous. The understanding between the two Bundesliga guys was growing, and the attack flowed a lot better. It was clear that Ekitike thrives when he's the clear focal point. What I love about Ekitike is he's not just scoring. He takes players on. He makes moments of magic on his own. He shoots a lot. And Liverpool's record with him starting speaks volumes about his impact. They had just 1 win in 6 games without him. Everyone from Slot to the fans see the progress of Ekitike beyond the goals. He's getting stronger, harder to knock off the ball, and is able to keep running deep into matches. The adaptation period ended. There is no debate now about who plays up front. Ekitike is Liverpool's #1 striker, and Isak, even when he returns from injury, will be playing catch-up. This is why the praise for Ekitike has been non-stop. Pundits have been lining up to talk about how good he's been, and even the harshest critics are now glazing him. Jamie Carragher, who usually doesn't hold back, has been one of Ekitike's biggest supporters. He went as far as saying Ekitike is a better player for Liverpool than Fernando Torres was.
Hugo Ekitike is a better player than Torres. I'm not sure he'll get as many goals as Torres as he did over a couple of years. But what Fernando Torres had, he had Steven Gerrard. I think Fernando Torres, certainly in Liverpool's shape, was made by Steven Gerrard. Now, I don't think Hugo Ekitike would rely as much on Florian Wirtz, but if that combination keeps going, then that's when you could maybe get the goals that Fernando Torres got.
Steven Gerrard is a fan too.
I love this kid. I think he's just going to get better and better. Yeah, what a signing he's been so far.
He's more than just a striker. He's been a bright spot in what's been a messy and up and down season for Liverpool. Whether he's scoring big goals or winding up the opposition fans, or even posting memes on his burner account, he's brought personality, confidence, and more importantly, belief back to Liverpool. Who knows? Maybe Ekitike will see this account and comment on one of his burners. Now, if he keeps this up, he won't just be compared to a player like Fernando Torres anymore. He'll build his own legacy. Now, the guy that's been shining right next to him, as I stated earlier, is Florian Wirtz. To see how he has silenced all the people that doubted him, you have to watch this video right here.